Lundstrom, if y'all want to come up. So thank y'all for being here. It's a really, really big day. We have been dealing with a defense of the SAFE Act for several years. And today we got word from the 8th Circuit that they have the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the United States Court of Appeals that is based in St. Louis. That is where our federal district court cases are appealed to. And they issued an en banc ruling, which was 8-2 in favor of the constitutionality, affirming the constitutionality of the SAFE Act. And if you'll remember, the SAFE Act was passed in April of 2021. The lead in the House was Representative Lundstrom, and the lead in the Senate was Senator Clark. And it's just a really great day. So there was, if you'll remember, dating back to June of 23, which is about 6 months into my first term, there was a permanent injunction on the law. And so it was no longer effective. It was, in effect, frozen. And that was because our district court judge here in Little Rock erroneously concluded that the act violates the Equal Protection Clause, the Due Process Clause, and the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. The 8th Circuit said that none of those three is true, and that it does not violate the Equal Protection Clause because it's not a matter of sex. It's a matter of medical procedure and age. It does not violate the Due Process Clause because there's no fundamental right at issue here. The state has the right to regulate medical treatments. We know that. We do that all the time in the state. All the states do that. And parents do not have an unlimited right to make medical decisions for their children. It is not unlimited. And so there's no due process violation. And then there was a First Amendment issue raised that we lost on at the district court. The 8th Circuit said there's no First Amendment issue here, and that had to do with what a doctor can say. We routinely provide guidance to medical providers on how to handle certain issues, and this is no different. And Arkansas has a compelling interest in protecting the physical and psychological health of minors. So this is a great day for the state. It's a great day for the legislature. This is not, in my view, a surprise coming off of Attorney General Skermetti's victory in the U.S. Supreme Court just earlier this year. And but we have been waiting on this and excited about what might come out of this case. And so I want to let Representative Lundstrom speak a little bit, and then we'll have Senator Clark, and then I'll close it up.
Thank you. Today's a big day. First of all, I want to thank Team Tim, or the Attorney General's team. Every single person that worked in the AG's office is a part of this win, and we couldn't do it without good representation. I also want to thank the 64 co-sponsors of this bill. Not a single person backed up when it came time to run this bill, and 72 members in the House and 28 members in the Senate voted for this bill and also voted for the override, and they never backed down. They put their political futures at risk by saying children are more important than politics. Castrating a child under 18 chemically or surgically is wrong. I'd also like to thank Jerry Cox and Family Council team. I have had the good fortune of selecting a great Senate sponsor, and that was Senator Clark. He did not back down either. I also want to thank the people of Arkansas. For 4 years we've waited for this to protect our children. And I can't tell you how many times over the last 4 years people have asked me, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? We've got to stop this castration chemically, surgically of children. They need to be protected. And we've waited patiently, and today's a good day. So thank you to the people of Arkansas who waited patiently with me. With that.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate Representative Lundstrom asking me to sponsor this bill. I had a similar bill. Wasn't nearly as good as her bill was. Hers was very well thought out. And it's a great victory. I appreciate the Attorney General. Appreciate the Supreme Court for the decision they made a few weeks ago. Appreciate the St. Louis District Court. It shouldn't have taken this long. And it is dismaying that this is a fight that we even have to fight. As we were getting ready to present this bill, I visited with doctors and visited with child psychologists who really know this subject, and most don't. But what I found most important was the real studies that have been done, especially in Sweden, who led the world in these type surgeries, in this type medicine, who has quit because of the results. This, I don't want to get too far off into the weeds, but true gender dysphoria is normally a male, extremely rare, around 2 years old, and nobody knows why. But what people also don't know is between the ages of 18 to 25, 70 to 90% of those decide they're not a girl. It is not something that has traditionally over the years occurred in 8th graders, and especially not whole classes of 8th grade girls. This is not medicine. This affirmation is not science. We are mutilating kids. We are preparing them. In the study of 153 kids, you remember 80% of those in true gender dysphoria from 2 years old decide that they're not a girl on their own. Of the 153, an exhaustive study, 153 adolescents that they gave the cross hormones and the hormones and the cross-sex drugs, did the gender surgery. All 153 had the surgery done. Keep in mind, 80% one direction, 100% the other direction. And when you can't say that it doesn't matter, and you can't say that affirmation saying to a young person that is on drugs, that is involved in other things in their life where they're very confused. I was a youth pastor, and teenagers believe one thing one day and one thing the next day, and that we should affirm that something that like this that is so important, instead of doing the real psychological work that has been done in the past and should be done as to what's really at the core, what's really going on here. And so, again, I appreciate Robin, Representative Lundstrom, in joining the battle. I appreciate Attorney General Griffin joining us in the battle, and all those others who have. And this is not over, I'm afraid, but we have to continue to fight to protect our kids.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Representative, for leading on this issue. I want to really emphasize how many hours, the intensity of the work, how much commitment our staff here has had on this particular case. And Autumn is our, I'm not going to ask you to come up unless you want to. Autumn Patterson is our Solicitor General, and her staff have been just incredible. This is a several-year battle that a lot of different people have been involved in, including our last SG, Nick Bronny, who's now on the Supreme Court. And so we've just had a lot of people here working on it. And I just want to thank Autumn for your continued leadership, and Noah, her deputy in the SG shop. It just, and I know that when Robin says she's been impatient, I don't know if you said that, but she'd text me and say, when do you think? When do you think? When do you think? And we've been doing that for about 2 years. So it's a big, big day, and we're just excited about it. Any questions? Yes. Sounds like the kind of question I used to get from Robin. As you know, judges will do what judges do. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Anything else?
And I was wondering if you could talk about the First Amendment issue here. So once this is enforced, like, would a doctor not be able to recommend someone to seek this type of treatment in another state? Like, would that be illegal under the law?
You can't do it here. So the actual language, do you want to address that? Or do you want to address that? Yeah, so look, I don't have the statute in front of me, but if you are telling a child, if you are recommending that a child seek this type of care, you're in violation of the statute. So I don't think that saying, well, I didn't mean here, I don't think that that's, I think the statute prohibits it regardless. You're not supposed to be, in this state, providing that kind of advice to a minor. Hey, you should be doing this. You should be doing that. I'm going to recommend this. That is not consistent with the authorized practice of medicine in the state.
Do you all anticipate any further appeals or legal challenges or anything to this law?
Well, I think because the Supreme Court has spoken on this, as it relates to this specific law and these specific arguments, I feel really good about that. Will there be other attempts, other angles? You know, it's hard to predict, but this is pretty definitive. It's going to be hard to. I can't anticipate. People will do what people will do, and they often file frivolous lawsuits. But this is a pretty strong statement backed up by the United States Supreme Court.
Can you talk about this being the first statewide ban on gender affirmation and the significance of that for the state of Arkansas?
Yeah, so these are the leaders on that. You know, we thought that this case might get to the Supreme Court first. It did not in the end, but I think at least from my perspective, the legal outcome is the one we wanted, even though that this is coming on the heels of the Scarametti case, the Tennessee case. But do y'all want to speak to maybe what led you to, or why we were the first, or that was your doing?
I think the biggest reason is we heard from grandparents that were concerned about their grandchildren. Now 26 other states have filed very similar legislation, and of course Tennessee made it all the way to the Supreme Court. So I think the common sense, the adults are walking back in the room on this issue and saying, we do not cut off the breasts of a child or a penis of a child, and we don't chemically or surgically castrate a child. So I think this has been coming. We just happen to be the first.
Okay. Thank y'all. Appreciate you. And we'll be announcing it. Jeff's going to hit me for this. We're going to have a press conference on Thursday.